Yeah, hello. This is Zanzellian, and I'm gonna be showing you. You saw the Buzhou mountain floors on the web browser game War of Legends, and gonna tell you the basics of how it functions, because or at least the floors 6 and 7 is the ones you need to watch out for, because they are extremely hard if you do not have the proper legends, or well, they are impossible to do if you do not have the proper legends. Which is why I'll be using my personal, my namesake, as I call it. It's the one you start with, and at the current moment, the best one in the game for overversion. And I'll be using him as an archer legend because I haven't fixed him up properly to be anything else. So I'll be using him as archer legend with the 57k troops, which is then zombie archers, the best archers in the game for that we can have. But and these must by no means be used above level 4 unless floor 4 unless it's for troops, as long as he is not archer troops you use him with, and he will be used on the bosses because, well, he's a must, at least on floor 7. But on floor 6 he should normally be a must, but I do not need him because I have a Rahu, or whatever it's called, and I use zombie charioteers, and I have the full set of Shield Dragon, which is the best gear in the game. I can then, in theory, go through the entire floor 6, and if the boss on floor 6 arrives, at least if he arrives first, I can farm the entire floor. I can tank the entire floor with this one alone, but on floor 7 that is impossible, so I will need to have this one. And I can explain here now that when you go into Buzhou Mountain, and if you want to do floor 5 and 6, you need to have other legends with you, with one archer or one other soldier, to be used as fodder. Because if you use them as fodder, you can change in between the enemies, and when the boss comes out, you have one archer legend which can be thrown away, and you get back to and you can start. And if the boss comes from, you can use the archer, and which when your other one archer legend dies, so that you can one hit the boss and then go back to Rahu. But I will show you how it works when I get there. But first of all, we're gonna just do floor 5. Now floor 4, and you should probably speed up the move when it comes to this, because this will take a little bit of time to actually get through. But these on the floor 4, they have elite archers, elite soldiers, and these will be only on floor 4. On floor 1 to 3, they have normal archers, but they will have nullifiers. Nullifiers are these type of artifacts, which say it states that they nullifies the enemy equipment. So if for 5 element destiny is the most basic and the first one you can get. Well, of course, unless you're a cash waster. But anyways, when you use these when you use these nullifiers, you nullify the enemy artifact, which, since they also use a nullifier, and you reduce their amount of troops, which is great to have. On Rahu, I got Rahu's own special one, which also does the same and reduces by 30%, which is a lot. The highest you can get is 45, but I don't have any of those. So I'll use this one on the boss, and this one is 10% or 15, I don't know, I don't remember. Anyways, I'll be using this, and the gear I'll be using is Shang for my archer, and well, So as I said, shin drag for my tank. Yes, anyways, when I was doing 4-4, and as I said, you should probably just increase the speed on the movie, or simply just jump past, because this is kind of pointless to actually look at this. Well, it is in theory. But as you see, I always keep Legends 1 on. It must be on, because if not, they can, some of the other enemy soldiers can use, they can decrease your, can use nullifier on you and decrease your troops. And that is by all means a pain, because they have 15% on my leader's skills are not high enough to actually regain that on a per attack. As you can see, it basically just goes like this entire way. Let's see, I got this, and there is one thing you need to have when you're playing this up in this, and that is something called Rebel. Rebel restores 10% of the soldier count every turn, which means every time you click, every time the time goes away, or you click, end the round, you regain 10% of your total amount of troops each time. So that it's kind of impossible for anyone to actually take away your troops as long as you use nullifier and you have rebel. As you can see, they only hit for around 3. This one only killed 3 charioteers, but with my current gear and equipment, it's well, other stuff, stats, it will only lose so much. But as I said, please skip this part, because in case you don't want to, in case you don't care, because it's kind of pointless. I will just be showing it anyways, for those of you who want to know. On floor 4 there are no bosses, no extra super hitters, so you just need to farm past it. It takes a while, but it's easy. The problem comes when you're done with number 4, because then the troops go from elite troops to Abera troops, and Abera troops are much harder than normal, and they have special debuff on certain troop types. I think it's Celestial. I think anything above elite troops, but I'm not entirely sure on that matter. I believe there should be a debuff, but at least the troops are hard, and you must never, and I repeat, you must never use your archer legend on the archer troops above floor 4, because you will be one hit. No matter what you carry it, you will be one hit. There is no doubt about it, because your archer troops have far too little defense, and the enemy has far too high attack. There is just nothing more to say about it. But still, though, this is an extremely boring part, and it is extremely boring, to be honest. But that's something you'll just have to live with. I hate this farming part. I mean, you must always remember before you go into Buzhou Mountain, you must always remember that your gear is intact, that the endurance is high enough, because if not, you're gonna lose all your endurance and your gear stops working when you get to floor 7 or 6, and that is by no means a good thing. That is actually an extremely bad thing. If you manage to fail that up, you're screwed. Well, let's hope it doesn't happen now. I think I should have repaired all my gear. Or at least I think I did. Who knows? In theory, I should have used my main legend for my namesake for the charioteers, but unfortunately it's a little bit too much of a pain to actually do it, because I would have to use something called Eruption Elixir on him, which it increases the stat points after you've gotten to the max level, and I would need a lot of them to actually make them useful. So this is why I'm using Rahu. I cannot be bothered to try and get myself the items needed. I just can't. So deal with it. I got nothing of value, as obvious as always. Well, let's see. Apparently, the name of the troops does not appear. So see, for some unknown reason, maybe if I refresh, it appears, or it just doesn't appear. Anyways, when you're on floor 5, which means that the troops are gravitated to the strongest troops, and a lot more. So you can see you increased up to more than 100,000 plus, and they're extremely strong. So you will absolutely need a level 120 legend to actually survive this place. The only reason why they only hit me for 150 troops and I recover around 5,000 per round is because of my gear. My gear is the best, and it has 100% extra defense bonus on each piece. Now on the entire set, and on the stats is extremely good. So it shouldn't really be much problem. At least until I get into floor 6. And I will repeat once more, you can skip this part and just jump up to floor 6 and 7, but I will be showing this so you get the entire round. On floor 5 there is not a boss enemy, but there is some kind of boss enemy. It's a little bit harder than the rest, but this shouldn't be any problem, well, as far as I know. The problem though is for each time you go to a new floor, the amount of enemies you meet goes up by 2, which means that if you're on the first floor you will meet on the 2, on the second floor you meet 4, on the third 6, fourth 8, 5, 10, and so on. There should be a total maximum of 10 floors, but it is impossible for me to do a floor 8 at the current moment. I just don't have the troops, nor the gear, nor the troops, nor the stat points to actually get up there. It is simply impossible. So we will have to do with floor 5 to 4 to 7 this time. It's a shame, but that's just how it is. As you see, this is extremely boring. It is pretty much just click and click and click and click and click and click in the same way as always, and you must always be sure that you have enough mana points to actually use this weapon. Because if you go out while you're just running past, you will lose all your troops. And I repeat, you will lose them all. It just isn't possible to not lose them. Who did I just kill? Oh, okay, Taishi, never mind. I certainly lost a lot more troops than I had expected, but no, as I looked at it, it was obvious. He had a little bit more attack than normal. And the correct troops. Because the strongest troops, the ones that hit the hardest, are the charioteers. But the point is that if you have an archer legend, you can kill those in one swift blow. No, if you have an archer legend, but there is no point in using your archer legends before anywhere else than on the boss fight. There is just no point. And if I'm extremely lucky, Piggy, as we call him, the Celestial Admiral, since he has a pig's face, we call him Piggy. But if I meet him, I will have to hope that he comes first, and if he comes second, well, I may in theory be screwed. But we'll see how it goes. And if I'm extremely lucky, there are no archers on the floor, so he appears on, so I can just go right to my archer legend and farm the entire floor. Now that would be perfect. The chances for that are, well, they're quite minimal. So we'll see how it goes. We'll just pray that at least if there are any archers, it will come first, or that Piggy will be one of the first to arrive. Because then I don't need to waste my my extra troops, more archer troops. The problem though is that if it does not appear last, Now if it does not appear at one of the first ones, I will need to use one of my extra legends. But the problem is that these tends to bug themselves, and I cannot use any army aids, which is the tokens that allow you to regain your troops. I cannot use them because, well, it just doesn't allow me to, for some reason. It's it's an annoying bug that they don't seem to bother to fix. Let's see, anything new? Nope. As you can see, when my troops get below a certain amount of HP, also which needs to be 20, it spams this chat the entire way as long as you go into a new battle. And this will go into new battle until all are dead. You cannot stop this place. The only way to stop is to kill everything or die, which is extremely annoying, but it is made to make everything much harder. And the most annoying thing is the messages you get when you're about 1 HP. It spams and spams and spams and everything else disappears. It's extremely annoying. Well, we'll see how it goes. I don't really know how far I've gotten at the current moment. There should be 8 floors and now 8 battles, but I didn't focus on to see how many I've actually done. Okay, I was actually okay. I was done with floor 5. Well, now we're on floor 6, and that is the floor with Piggy. Piggy is one of the 2 bosses on floor 6 and 7, and he is extremely strong if you do not have the proper gear, which is why you need the Archer Legend. Let's see if you can actually find it. There you go. Admiral of the Celestial Navy is his name. He has got 180k Abera Charioteers, and he is by no means something to scoff at. He is powerful. Very much so. Okay, we did not meet him on the first try, and that is a good thing, because that would actually be a pain. So we should pray that most of the archers come before meet Piggy, because then the more archers you meet first, the less the chances are there will be archers on his round. Or at least I think it's like that. It seems to be so, because every time I met him on without archers, it's always been because I met a huge load of archers before. Well, it's looking kinda good from the start. Okay, and when I'm starting to get low on the mana points, so I will be increasing my mana points by going to his hair and click on this one. On the plus, I got all kinds of different ways to regain, and I'll just use this one for the sake of it, because I cannot be bothered to waste on the others. Although they are not extremely costly, they are actually very cheap, because when they're on sale they usually go for around, I don't remember if it was how much it was, but people tend to sell them for around 1 or 0.15 each or something like that, which means that they are usually extremely cheap. Usually. But you never know. Okay, there is no Celestial Army dude on this one either. He will probably, if I'm lucky, he will come soon, so I can just farm through the rest of it, because when Piggy is dead, and if I haven't lost any troops, I'm safe to surf through the entire thing. And he's not here either. Well, there is only one boss in this floor, as I said earlier, and there should be 2 bosses on floor 7. One of them I can hit with only losing 1 or 2k troops if I have enough of them. It depends, but because I'm now 10k less troops than I usually have, because of a small fail I did a while ago. So I'm a little bit short on troops. So I may not be able to properly kill kill the second boss on floor 7. But we'll see. We'll see. Actually, there is no problem tanking him. I just pray that I don't lose too many troops. Let's see. No Piggy still. Huh. I suppose Piggy will come last today. And well, that doesn't really matter to me. I'll kill him anyways. But the problem is how many troops will I lose on Piggy this time, because I only got 55k, which means I'll only get 5k back. And I've got and I usually have 65 or 67k. So it's gonna be, damn it, why couldn't this have been Piggy? Well, no matter. Let's just pray I don't lose too many troops, because that would piss me off, because these are extremely costly to get. Cost, yeah, okay. They cost a lot. Come on, Piggy, Piggy. Nope, still no Piggy. That means I can do what was I supposed to be doing? No, I don't remember what I was supposed to be doing. I completely forgot. Huh. I wonder what it could have been. Well, it probably doesn't matter. It probably doesn't matter at all. We'll see. Oh, right. Yeah, okay, that was what I was supposed to be doing. Okay, let's see. I'm going here. I'm gonna continue on training my more zombie archers. Oh my goodness. Cavalry, edict. There we go. At the current moment, the zombie troops are the most powerful troops you can use, as I said earlier, and they cost a buttload of cash of these things to get, which means that you have to use, if you want them to not cost anything, you need to use elite troops in order to get them, in order to create them for free. The only problem with it is that you actually need to have the resources to be able to create them. You do not lose your resources, but you need them in order to create them, and that is it's good certainly, because you need the resources, but it's still a pain in the ass. But the most annoying thing is that even though if you have the resources, if you're missing something called let's see, where is it? 14. If you're missing something called zombie curses, you cannot create any zombie troops, because you will need one zombie curse per 1,000 zombie troops. So I can currently create 8,000 zombie troops for each time. So it's it's not a lot, but it's still enough. I can survive with it, so to speak. Now then, let's pray that the shitty boss will come. Nope, still no boss. Perhaps unlucky. It looks like most of the artists is coming now. I may be in theory be lucky, but we'll have to see. I just pray don't fuck up on the White Tiger on floor 7, which is the hardest boss from on floor 7. If I if I forget to actually change my legends while fighting him, can be sure that I'm screwed, because I've done that so many times. It's not even funny anymore. And there we go, Piggy. This is Piggy. You will understand easily because he has a pig face. And oh, perfect, which means let's see how much to lose. 10k. That's the same as I always lose, which is by no means bad. You see, I retrieve my troops for each attack, so I'm pretty much not losing anything. and that is why this, and that means that I can cruise through the rest of this floor. But you must always pray that there are a lot of archer legends, and that he comes first if you want to do it like that. Oh, okay, oh, he was the last one. Okay, well that's good, that's good. Well then, now it's floor 7, the hardest part. As I said, there are 2 bosses, and you will be allowed to see them now. You should, if you're gonna try this, you must, and I repeat, you must make sure you remember how the hardest boss looks, or both bosses, so to speak, because if you fail on them, well, you're screwed. There's nothing more to say. You have no chance of winning if you screw that up. But other than that, everything else is exactly the same as floor 5, 6, and floor 5. You can just randomly go through because they cannot kill you. But there is one thing you must remember when it comes to the nullifiers, the nullifier artifacts, which renders the enemy artifact useless. There is some sort of hierarchy among them, which means that there you got the first boss. This is Xuan Yuan. He is one of the bosses you have to fight on this floor, and he has a whole bunch of he has an incredible attack, and he has a huge amount of halberdiers. But as you see, he didn't really take much from me because of my gear. He is actually quite easy when you have the proper gear. Other than that, you would have had to use 1 archer legends, but that would quite honestly be a waste, a bad waste. Let's see, no white tiger. But you should remember to take a good look at Xuan Yuan and how he looks, because if you fail to remember him, you will be doomed. So this, well, you won't really be doomed, but it may go bad. And I truly pray that the game does not stop working while I'm on White Tiger, because this game has a tendency to not allow you back in, and you will have to relog fast as hell, and pray that nothing goes bad, nothing goes wrong, which can by all means be extremely annoying. Still no White Tiger. Well, it doesn't really matter whether White Tiger comes or not, because I have all my 3 legends left, which means that it's impossible for me to fail. It is quite honestly 100% impossible for me to fail on White Tiger unless I'm a retard, and I kinda am, but not that much of a retard. But I'll show you what to do when you get there. And you should probably stop speeding up by now. You should, if you have sped up the movie, you should stop now, because you need to understand everything that happens. Okay, White Tiger is here. Well, I'll just change that one immediately. This is White Tiger. You understand it, that he looks to his own right. He looks to the left on your screen, and okay, go back. Yeah, and I will just use that one. Yeah, anyways, and you have to go back to this one each time, and you have to be sure that you do not end up meeting him with your charity legend, which I'm trying to do now. Ah, perfect. This now that we have actually gotten to White Tiger himself. Oh god, you need to equip your archer legend, and you need to equip your archer legend, and well, I'll show you how it works. You equip your archer legend and make him go up next, and I'll just wait because I don't want to rush it. Like this, and then go back to this. Goes back to Rahu, because no one knows that he will be one shot with my archer legend. There is impossible for my archer legend to lose this fight. It just can't happen. So we'll just see on ta-da! He be dead. And he's dead. That means that floor 7 has been finished, and the rest is pretty much just farming through, just going past everything else. But remember very well, you need to have these 3 one troop legends to if in case you hit this one, because there are troops in there, and if you fail and if you're unlucky and the white tiger goes first, like I did here, now it's no, well, third, but it doesn't really matter if it goes second or third, because then you're screwed. Quite literally, he will one hit your charioteer legend. There is no doubt about it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you for watching, and I hope you learned something. Unfortunately, I do not know the minimum requirements to actually get to floor 7, but I believe there should be something around. If you have 4 to 5k attack on your archer legend, and probably around 4 to 50k, around 40k troops, and as I said, 4 to 5k attack, you should be able to one-hit unproper gear. You should be able to one-hit White Tiger with your Archer Legend. But you will need a lot more defense on this type of legend if you actually want to kill him with charioteers. It's probably impossible for. It's impossible for me too, because I would probably end up on around 10k, 10 to 20k troops left when he's dead, and it's impossible to regain anything from that. It is 100% impossible to actually regain your troops if that happens, and that's a bad thing, an extremely bad thing. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Zanzellian out.